Okay, so have you ever felt like life is this journey with way too many like detours?
Oh, tell me about it.
Well, get ready because this deep dive is all about, navigating those twists and turns.
Sounds kind of deep.
It is. We're diving into President Emily Belle Freeman's talk, Walking in Covenant Relationship with Christ, from the October 2023 General Conference.
Okay.
And before you think, oh, this is too religious for me, trust me, it's about so much more.
Like what?
We're talking resilience, human connection, how to keep going when things get tough.
I like where this is going. It's like we all crave that, right?
Yeah.
That feeling of like not being alone in the struggle.
Exactly. And President Freeman starts with this story, and it's kind of funny, but also you're like, ouch. So she's prepping to walk the Jesus Trail in Israel, which bucket list,
That's
right?
her.
And then, boom, breaks her ankle weeks before the trip.
Oh, no. Can you imagine all that planning?
Right. The worst. But here's the thing she doesn't cancel. Instead of giving up, she shows up crutches, knee scooter, and all. And this is where it gets good.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So it's not just about the physical injury, right? It's that feeling we all get when life throws a wrench in our plans. And it's about choosing to keep going anyway.
It's like she's saying, okay, not what I expected, but I'm still here. Let's do this.
Yes. And this is where her guide, Maya, comes in. Talk about a rock star.
Everyone needs a Maya in their corner. Someone
Right.
who's like, I got you.
100%. At first, even Maya's a little unsure. Like, can we really do this?
Right, because hiking with a broken ankle is not exactly a walk in the park.
Understatement. But seeing President Freeman's determination, she literally helps her every step of the way.
It's amazing how powerful that can be, just having someone there to like literally hold your hand through the rough parts.
And this is President Freeman's genius. She uses this experience, this whole broken ankle scooter on the Jesus Trail thing, to introduce this idea of a covenant path.
Covenant path. Okay, before we lose everyone, break that down for me. What does that even mean?
I know, right? It sounds kind of intense, but stay with me. It's actually really cool. It's this idea that we're not meant to walk through life alone.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
But what's the covenant part?
So to explain, she brings up this story, Jacob's Ladder, from the Bible, not the scary movie.
Okay, got it. Not the scary movie. What's the story?
Well, it's about this guy, Jacob, right? And he's on this journey, far from home, totally uncertain about the future. And God appears to him and makes these promises, protection, guidance, that he'll never be left alone.
So kind of like how Maya is for President Freeman on the trail.
Exactly. It's that feeling of having someone or, something bigger than yourself watching out for you, guiding you. And that's huge, right? Because who doesn't crave that sense of security, that we're not totally lost in the wilderness?
For sure. We all want that feeling of like we're going to be okay, even when things are tough.
Exactly. But here's where the covenant part really kicks in.
I'm listening.
It's not a one-way street. It's not just, okay, God, or like the universe will take care of everything.
Okay, so what's the catch?
It's about how we respond to that promise, how we show up, even when we're scared, even when we're not sure of the way.
So it's a two-way street.
Exactly. And President Freeman calls it the five-finger promise. Like each finger represents a different part of this relationship.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. I love a good visual. Tell me more about these five fingers.
Right. So imagine you're Jacob, totally alone, facing the unknown. These promises, safety, guidance, never being alone, they speak to those deep human needs.
Oh, absolutely. That feeling of like, I'm not in this alone.
Yeah.
That's everything.
It's like having a safety net. Like you can take risks, you can try new things because someone has your back.
I can totally see how that applies to like everyday life. But I can also see how people might get tripped up by the whole covenant thing. Like it can feel kind of heavy, right?
Totally. Like, is it a contract? A checklist?
Yeah, like am I following all the rules? Am I doing enough?
You hit the nail on the head. It's easy to get caught in the doing, the achieving, and forget that it's really about a relationship.
Oh, so less about checking boxes, more about connecting.
Exactly. It's about that give and take, that commitment you find in any good relationship. You put in the effort, you show up, but you also receive so much in return.
Okay, that makes sense. It's about being part of something bigger than yourself, but not in like a overwhelming way.
Yes. And this is where she brings in the temple.
The temple.
Mm.
I have to admit, I'm not super familiar with that.
Yeah, I get it. It can seem a little exclusive, I guess.
Yeah, like a members only kind of thing.
Exactly. But the way she describes it is like this space, this place where you go to deepen that relationship we're talking about, to learn and grow and become, as she puts it, as he is.
That's beautiful. And honestly, even if you're not religious, That idea of striving to be better, to become more than you are,
Yeah.
that's something we can all relate to, right?
Totally. It's about recognizing that potential within ourselves and figuring out how to tap into it.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we're talking journeys, promises, personal growth. It's a lot to unpack.
Right. And just when you think she's going full on, like, theological, she brings it back down to earth with this experience she had at the Western Wall in Jerusalem.
Oh, I've heard about that. It's like a super significant place,
It's
right?
huge. And she's there watching people pray, and she's struck by this deep longing they have for their temple.
Which, like, makes sense, right? It's a powerful symbol of their faith, their history.
Exactly. And it gets her thinking about these universal questions we all wrestle with: faith, doubt, commitment.
Because honestly, who hasn't had those moments of, like, am I on the right path? Do I even believe in any of this?
Right. And what I love is she doesn't shy away from that. It's like she's giving us permission to have those doubts, those questions, and still be okay.
It's so validating to hear someone say, like, it's okay to not have it all figured out, that the journey itself, the searching, it's all part of it.
And she gets real about her own journey, her own relationship, and she uses these words: beloved, known, trusted, strengthened.
It's powerful because she's not just preaching it, she's living it.
And that vulnerability, it's like, come on this journey with me. Let's figure it out together. Not, I have all the answers.
Yeah, it's way more inviting that way.
Totally. And remember how we talked about it not being a race?
Right. Progress, not perfection.
Yes, and she brings it back to the Israel story with her nephews. So Maya has to leave the rope tied to the scooter, and these kids, full of energy, they take turns helping her get around.
Oh, yeah. I loved that part. They were so sweet.
And it's not just about physically getting around, it's about them sharing their excitement, their joy in the experience.
And it's a good reminder that, like, we're not meant to do this alone,
Hmm.
you know? We need each other, those helping hands, that shared experience.
And it makes you realize, like, we all need that, right?
Mm.
Someone to cheer us on, to offer a hand when we stumble.
Absolutely. We're stronger together, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And when we help each other, it's like we get so much more out of the experience. It's not just about the destination, it's about the journey and who we share it with.
So, like, bringing this all back, walking in covenant relationship, even if we ditch the fancy words, it's about that interconnectedness.
100%. Recognizing that we need each other, we draw strength from each other, and when we help others, it actually enriches our own lives in ways we never imagined.
Powerful stuff. And honestly, it speaks to all of us. Religious or not, that desire for connection, for support, for becoming our best selves, it's universal.
It really is. And that's what makes this deep dive so interesting. She takes this simple idea, a walk, and suddenly we're grappling with these deep human experiences. Life throws curveballs, the path gets rough, but we don't have to go it alone.
So it's not just about a broken ankle and a trip to Israel. It's like she's leaving us with this question: who are we walking with? And whose load can we help lighten along the way?
Such a good question. Because we all need someone, and we all have something to offer, something to think about.